A note on the page of an old Russian calendar recorded the fall of a meteorite in the vicinity of the Siberian town of Kansk in 1908. The note attracted the attention of Soviet scientist L.A. Kulik, who specialized in the investigation of meteorites. Kulik came across the note in 1921 as he was arranging a meteorite expedition. Even though meteorite research by the Academy of Sciences of the young Soviet Republic was necessarily limited, Kulik had interested 3 other members of the Academy, Vernadsky, Versman, and Oldenburg, to join him on the expedition to Siberia. In the fall of 1921, the first Russian expedition on meteorites left Petrograd for Siberia. The investigators soon discovered that the meteorite which had been observed near Kansk did not fall in the Kansk region. Records in other towns in central Siberia also noted the appearance of an unusual phenomenon on June 30th, 1908, a phenomenon that was observed and heard by thousands of people throughout the huge territory of Siberia. Eyewitnesses told of a blinding flash of light over the taiga and a powerful gust of air, indications of a highly unusual cosmic event. Kulik attempted to pinpoint the location of the suspected meteorite fall in the area of the river Podkamenia Tunguska, and his preliminary investigations suggested an event of significance to scientists throughout the world. While they failed to locate the mysterious Tunguska meteorite, Kulik's expedition did not return to Petrograd empty-handed. 233 meteorite samples were added to the collection of meteorites of the Academy of Sciences and were placed on display in Moscow. Kulik's efforts to organize another expedition were strongly supported by his Siberian scientific colleagues. Geophysicist Voznesensky, who was in charge of the observatory in Irkutsk, reported that the seismograph in the observatory registered a strange and prolonged disturbance during the night of June 30th, 1908. Comparing his findings with the observations of others, Voznesensky established that the time of the disturbance corresponded to the fall of the Tunguska meteorite. The first hump corresponds to the beginning of the seismic wave, followed 48 minutes later by the air pressure wave. The interpretation of the seismographic data and the observations of the witnesses helped pinpoint the area of the fall. According to Voznesensky, the flight of the meteorite was in the direction of south-southwest to north-northeast. His observation agreed with the findings of a young Siberian geologist, S. Obruk, and the Siberian ethnographer I.M. Suslov, who had been in the Tunguska River area at the time. These findings renewed Kulik's determination to find the Tunguska meteorite and provided the justification he needed to begin preparations for a new expedition. The trading post at Vonovar became the base for Kulik's new expedition. The Siberian trading posts were of major economic and cultural importance to the inhabitants of these remote areas. Workers at Vonovar helped Kulik organize the expedition and participated in finding experienced guides. Kulik is shown at the left in this group photograph. In 1928, he decided to lead the expedition through the waterways upstream into the remote taiga, where he hoped to find the Tunguska meteorite. Thorough preparations were made for the expedition. Special boats were built for the trip, utilizing techniques commonly employed in that area. The boats are exceptionally well suited for Siberia's turbulent rivers. Preparations completed, the expedition was ready to travel as soon as the river was free of ice in the spring. Kulik's party traveled 16 days, crossing the river many times, cutting through timber, and carrying their equipment when necessary. For 16 days, they fought the elements, every day knowing that they were coming closer and closer to their destination. When they had gone as far as they could by boat, Kulik established his camp on the bank of the river Kushmo. A charcoal pit provided an acceptable substitute for a baking oven. Truly fisherman's luck. After hiking tens of kilometers and frequently chopping through the woods, the expedition reached its destination. Trees lying radially in the form of a huge circle still mark the site some 20 years after the event. The impact must have taken place in the center of that circle in an area of great swamps. Kulik felt that the depressions in the swamp were craters formed by meteorite fragments. Now, all his energy was directed toward finding and retrieving remnants of the meteorite. First, a topographic map of a 100 square kilometer area was prepared. Then, an attempt was made to dry up one of the craters. And an excavation was started. However, the expected meteorites were not recovered. The results of the following year were no different, even though the search was very thorough. In addition to excavations, drillings were performed. Also participating in the expedition were the botanist Chumilova and a young astronomer named Krinov, who conducted astronomical observations. After 3 years of searching, Kulik became discouraged. He had not found a single gram of material of meteoritic origin. All this cast doubt on the usefulness of future trips into the area.